This video was brought to you by me.
Hey everybody, it's Sora850. Back in January, I did an entire video talking about Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories combat, and I did everything I could to help you guys understand it. From breaking down card mechanics, to showing how each type of card works, so on and so forth. If you guys are interested in that video, I will leave a link to it in the description down below, so that way you guys can get all of the information. However, while that video did break down the combat and explain how it worked, there is one problem that the video has. It only covers Sora's portion of the game. So this time around, we are going to be looking at Riku's combat because, oh boy, Riku's combat is an entirely different beast than Sora's, let me tell ya. Riku's combat is actually, from at least to my knowledge, never really discussed among Kingdom Hearts fans or fans of this game. But essentially, his combat is completely different, and even some of his mechanics are different. For example, Riku's deck has absolutely no customization whatsoever. You cannot edit his deck. It is actually completely different depending on the floor you're on. So every time you change floors and go to a different world, you're going to end up with a different deck. For example, your deck in Agrabah is going to end up looking exactly like this, while your deck in Wonderland ends up looking like this. Yeah, pretty big difference. So you end up with better or worse cards depending on the floor you're on. Now, another thing as well. You will be given one random Heartless card for depending on the floor you're on. Aside from that, the other enemy cards you get are the various bosses throughout the game. Also, Riku does not have magic cards of any kind whatsoever. He cannot use fire, blizzard, thunder, gravity, cure, none of that. He only has attack cards and occasionally an item card depending on the floor that you're on. This lack of customization also means one other thing. There is no CP cost to your cards, which means whenever you level up, you will not be increasing CP. Instead, there are different level up bonuses you get, but I will show those later on. This also means certain map cards are no longer accessible with Riku. For example, since there's no card customization, you actually will not get access to the Moogle room with Riku. And that also means no Moogle points, or Moogle P, as some of you delinquents like to call it. But yeah, you don't earn Moogle points with Riku's story either. I also have to point this out too. Riku does not use slates like Sora does. Docking cards with Riku simply does standard combos. There is a way that Riku can do slates, but that's going to be a mechanic I will show later on. Also, summoning Mickey is Riku's only way to heal inside a battle. Outside a battle, he can heal with HP orbs that he finds in crates, but inside a battle, Mickey is literally his only way to heal. And also, Mickey stuns enemies, which is pretty dang cool. I also find it funny that a 1 is literally what stunned these guys. But yeah, this is literally Riku's only way to heal. There is one thing I also want to show as well. There is technically one slate Riku can use, and that is a slate with Mickey. I didn't take this into account when I said what I said earlier, but if you stock Mickey into Keyblade cards, or to attack cards rather, you will get a slate known as Holy Burst, and this slate is actually very different depending on the version you're playing. I say very different because in terms of functionality it's the same, but the length at which you can use it does vary. If you're playing on the PlayStation 2 version, you can get probably 4 to 5 seconds of use out of this, which is very useful. But on the HD Remix version, it will last for maybe 2 seconds and that's it. As you can see, it's already over. It does do a good bit of damage, but its use is not exactly very good in the HD Remix version, and it's more so just a glorified card break. So, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't really bother using it. Now, it's time for some fun usage with these card breaks. Card breaks have a unique use to Riku that is honestly really fun. So you may notice whenever I do a card break, that number up top by your HP actually increases. This is known as the dark points. Dark points are achieved from the difference between your number and your enemy's number when a card break happens. I don't think it matters if they break your cards or not, but definitely try to be the one to perform the card break if nothing else. The max number you can gain on this is 9, so if you literally, like, for example, if I were to use 12 to break this right here, that would be a difference of 11, but 9 is the absolute max that will let you go. And also, if an enemy attacks you, you will also gain dark points as well. And once it maxes out at 30, use any card or perform a card break to go into dark mode. Dark mode is Riku's way of performing slates. So once you go into dark mode, you'll have various ones, like Dark Break here, and one of my personal favorites, Dark Firaga. Burn, baby. Now, obviously, there are more slates than that, but those are the main ones that I had access to on this floor. I'm gonna actually show you another one once we go back to the top floor. So, here's a fun little slate you can do. In dark mode, if you stock 3 9s, you get this bad boy. Mwahahaha! Yeah, it's pretty overpowered. Believe it or not, though, this is not the most overpowered mechanic in the game. There's actually a mechanic that you can completely abuse to make Riku's combat so easy. This mechanic is known as the duel mechanic. I want to see if I can actually find a good way to demonstrate it. Okay, this will work. If you do an equal card break and press triangle, you will be sent into the duel screen. This means you perform a bunch of card breaks and you will be able to completely overpower your enemy. If you actually do these successfully, like a good number of times, you will actually perform a slate depending on how many cards are in the duel. It's really, really fun, and honestly, if you just completely abuse this, you will almost never lose. Now, the downside is you do have to be very quick with this, because if you are too slow, you will actually lose the duel by default, and you will actually be the one stunned. But if you are successful at it, you will be the one out on top. My personal method for doing this is honestly just constantly spamming this, because who has time to go searching their deck for all of the right cards, right? Just make sure that your card is equal to or higher than the card you are breaking, and you will basically not lose. It's honestly that overpowered. But yeah, it doesn't have to just be a attack card, by the way. You can do this with an item card, but preferably I would say do it with your attack cards instead of wasting a high potion card, because yeah, it will take away your high potion card, and it will also take away your friend card as well. Also, one more thing I really should have mentioned earlier, but Riku's reload counter is also different than Sora's. Instead of standing there and holding down the button to charge it, simply pressing the X button or the A button, depending on the version that you're playing, instantly reloads your deck. There is no counter on it. You just simply have to press the button and then boom, it's instantly reloaded, no questions asked. And finally, let's go over Riku's level up bonuses, because like I said earlier, Riku does have different level up bonuses from Sora. He does still have the maximum HP one, so that one is the same, but he has 2 level up bonuses that are exclusive to him. The attack boost and the darkness boost. Darkness boost will raise your maximum DP, which means you will be able to stay in dark mode longer whenever you actually unleash that. Attack boost is exactly how it sounds. It raises your attack power. However, attack boost is a very, very particular level up bonus. If you choose to prioritize HP and not select this, it will not be available on the next level up. You have to select these as they are available, and they are permanently missable. So do keep that in mind. If you choose to actually not take the attack boost for this level, and you choose HP or DP instead, the attack boost for that specific level will be gone. So, every chance you get, I recommend taking attack boost. Because I cannot stress that enough, it is a permanently missable bonus. So yeah, that about covers it for Riku. Like I said, his combat is actually very different from Sora's. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below, and like I said earlier, I will also link the other video for Sora's combat in the description down below as well. Thank you to everyone who watched this, and I hope this actually helped you understand Riku's combat for Rechained Memories. Until next time, I will see you guys later.